of the actual note. Is there a chance that we can really enthusiastically propel from one note to the next? This kind of celebration is more this than it is, we have to make it too artistic. Same thing, include everybody. Here is measure 10. Same group at 22, please. On the measure 24, the end of 3, can you pay as much attention to the ending of that note as you did the beginning? Because it's a nice syncopated pop, but it sounds, the yarn is unraveled. We don't want that. Same people, same clips. Much better. Even more good. Don't sound so scared. Music is fun. Okay. Yeah. Isn't it right on the downbeat? Go, go, ga, right? But the entrance, nice sound good. Here's everybody including, so that's the same group including percussion. Dolos at 22. It's becoming duller as we repeat it. Each one of these is accented, is interesting. Pair that with bongos, or percussion floor, please.
At 29.
Yes, please. I have you take it up.
Oh, that's 27 and 28. I have nothing at 29.
My apologies, Chinese symbols. I mixed up 1 and 4. That's my bad. Here it is, 29, please. across. You can think of this as a duet between the two. Going into measure 31, I think we're a little bit just on the end, so don't worry about that. And it sounds uneven in the first 16th notes at 29. You're good to get them? Just a little accoutrement that we're putting on top of our bass. Here it is one more time. First note. Make sure you're paying attention to the whole. More attention on the first note, not the last one. Now I'm missing the third note. Make sure that the steady air stream is going through. Right here. These two. Better. I like the last one the best out of all. So if we can make them all sound like we're going into measure 32, that'd be good. Here we are. So the discrepancy that happens at measure 28 with all of the people that are playing there, this is a big deal, and we'll go into this a little bit more. The way that this piece is structured is all based off of mathematical sequencing, and that's relation to the Chinese New Year. And I don't want to get too much into it, but specifically at 28, we need to make a difference in our sound. So can we hear everybody starting back at 22? This is the entire ensemble going on. Let me show you. Measure 26. Pay attention to what I do at 28. I think this might be a little bit closer to what we want. Same thing. You were good. Yes, so if we can get that forte to just sound like we're not trudging along. Before we were Goliath playing ball, and now we're just kind of slow. We're just taking a big meal. Okay? Let's go on now that we've lost our line. Can we please start at, what say we 34? The trombone line, this is measure 34. Just the drums. Fluff, fluff, fluff. Tot, 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 tot. Better, don't get too excited. No, but don't drop it on me. Now I'm getting excited. The tonality, I like where it's stopping, but the tonality is kind of getting lost. One more time. Just watch the tuning when you do it. Same thing, I like the energy going into it, but it just a bit too detached from note to note to note. We can keep it accent, but just touching the next one. Can we have that and all of the trumpets? This is measure 34. Can we get that kind of noble processional? I have arrived. Yeah, same thing. Very nice. Now, can we please have everyone, here's measure 44 going on. Thank you. Can I please hear, if you have 16th note runs on measure 41, on beats 3 and 4, can I hear you at measure 40? First thing, can we get off the trill on that note just a little bit quicker, because we're losing the syncopated entrance right after it, so it just, all of the notes become messy until we get to the 16th notes. Additionally, this just needs to be, in a Chinese New Year celebration, I'm seeing sticks, and it's an Olympic event, help me out here, with ribbons. Is it just called ribbon? They're kind of, it's like the thing from old school.
Floor exercise.
You guys know how.
Oh, with the
Okay, it's a long stick and a ribbon attached to it, and you do some kind of floor exercise to it, you get to spin it around. Just ribbon twirling, rhythmic gymnastics, okay, whatever. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Here's the thing, these 16th notes need to embody the whipping of the last little bit of that ribbon. It is following everything that's going on, everything that's going on. It's the excitement behind it. I think I'm perfect. 40, same thing. Specifically, the one that's going, the slew of 16 notes that are going into 45 can just be a bit more ADD, if you will. Here's everyone at 40. about the golden ratio? Does anyone want to volunteer some information about the golden ratio? Go for it, Matt.
1.618, it's where you have a segment where if you break it up as A and B, A plus B equal or A is to B as A plus B is to A. So it's a really clever number, and it actually appears in nature a lot,
Yeah.
especially in the human body.
Yeah, okay, well, for some of us it does.
Yeah,
So what he's talking about, this 1.61803 number, it's a ratio. It's 1 to 1.6. We're going to round it off to that because I don't want to continue keeping these numbers in my head for too long. So this ratio kind of comes out as, we see these intricate balances, and you see these pre-Socratic philosophers are the first ones to recognize it. And they see it as what is beautiful to the human eye, or the most beautiful ratio, this golden ratio that we can find. So there are actually some pretty interesting studies, some of which I've read in Cosmo, about, I don't know why they know so much about that, but they do, about how people with this ratio in the face or the genetic makeup of their body are typically found to be more attractive, or buildings that present this golden ratio are more aesthetic to the eye, or you didn't find it occurring naturally. The most common one, and the one that represents it mathematically as far as the diagram is concerned, is the seashore. You'll see the spiral, but it doesn't concentrically spiral into the very center. It'll just start to slowly move off. So it's something that we see naturally. This piece is broken up into the golden ratio. There's 76 measures. Anyone know what the ratio would be, the midway point for that ratio? Didn't think so. That's a lot of math to do. Measure 45 is where the cutoff point is, so between 45 and 46. And all I wanted to get into today was between 1 and measure 45 is the golden section of the piece. Everything else is the B section. So we're working on the A and the B. But next week I'll bring in, or maybe next week, I'll bring in this diagram showing that this golden ratio gets broken down. So you can have a golden ratio, and then the golden section is present. And then you have another golden ratio within that one, and then the golden section is present again, gets smaller. And this can keep occurring over and over ad nauseam. But today we're working on the largest of the two. So let's begin at the beginning of our golden section, or measure 1. that's where we're just picking up too much speed.
Of 14?
Yes. 14. So make sure that we're watching out for that, and I think we're just getting maybe a little excited going up to the G in that large of a intervallic jump. Watch out for it. Same people, same place. Cool. Good. And then when you're getting to the ends of your phrases and it's landing on a staccato, we're actually making those more accented than any of the accents that precede it. So it's just supposed to be a dum 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 dum. The ending, it's a period. Good. Do it one more time with the percussion, just percussion at the beginning. The high gong can come out just a little bit more, like popcorns. Just, you ever been in a movie theater and you're there and you're waiting for your popcorns because they're making a new batch, and it's just all kind of falling down from the top, and then every once in a while it'll just kind of shoot out.
Yeah.
All of those syncopated feels are you. You're that weird popcorn shooting. Delicious. I'll just accept it. It is what it is. Let's move past it. Popcorn. Is that a reason that you're cocking your head?
That's kind of loud.
Oh, I can give you some.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring earplugs next.
Okay, if you want, I have some. Just because I
No,
don't know.
I'll just put it.
Okay, I was just, it looked like you're on your phone. So I'm gonna put you through this bit one more time. Here's everybody at the beginning. Thank you. Yes, I messed up, so the entrance was me. But what's interesting is that I'm not getting these quarter notes at 22 as consistently as they could be. Gong, 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 gong. Those people again, please. Rather